The divisional round of the NFL playoffs did not disappoint. 4 teams advanced, 4 teams are going home. But which of those 4 losers are you most excited for next season? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And shout out to our guy right here for a dope comment on our recent video. But Matt, man, I'll toss this question up to you, man. Of these 4 divisional round losers, who are you most optimistic for heading into next season?
Well, I think it has to be the Bills. I think that this is a team this is a team that's been winning their division for a while now. They still have one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL in Josh Allen. Yeah. I know there's a little bit of drama right now around Stephon Diggs, and that absolutely has to be addressed, but you still have great options in Dawson Knox. Gabe Davis really stepped up this year. You have Shakir, who I liked coming out and playing well. And then they're starting to figure out the run game. I like Cook. He has that potential. And then they still have a very solid defense. Now it's just going to be about, they've been good. They've built this team up, and now they have to just continue to keep that talent going and continue to win the division. And then if you do that, you get into the playoffs, and it's just taking one game at a time. And we've seen this team make it to the AFC Championship game. They've played against some tough teams, and so I think you have to be excited about them, especially because Josh Allen is young, and this is just the beginning.
I don't think you have to be excited about the Buffalo Bills, considering I think that their best chance to win the Super Bowl eluded them last year in the divisional round of the playoffs when they were up over the Kansas City Chiefs with 13 seconds left, and we know how that game and that season ended for the Buffalo Bills. I don't know if there's a lot of room for optimism. Obviously, yes, you have one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL in Josh Allen on your roster, under contract for the foreseeable future, and that's awesome, but the rest of the good teams in the AFC have great quarterbacks, arguably quarterbacks better than Josh Allen, most notably Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. So that gives me a lot of pause. And I think last thing here on the Bills before I move on to my team, this got to be the most disappointing finish to any playoff team this season, aside from maybe the Minnesota Vikings. You're the Buffalo Bills. You come in, obviously, as you mentioned, as the AFC East champions. You almost lose to Skylar Thompson in the wild card round. Josh Allen had a QBR of 26 in that game, and then you come out, obviously, this past weekend, put up 10 points. You put up 10 points and get completely outplayed by Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow. This is going to be a long offseason, I think, for the Buffalo Bills with a lot of question. You mentioned Stephon Diggs as well. That's going to be something that's going to have to iron itself out. But in terms of the team that I'm most excited for who lost in the division round, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. We've talked a decent amount about them here recently, and I just love the way they finished this season. Trevor Lawrence is on the ascension of a superstar. He's going to be among the top 5 quarterbacks on everybody's list before too long. And Doug Peterson, man, he has come in and completely transformed this franchise. That's something we talked about as well. So I love the Jags. And again, they're going to be adding Calvin Ridley next season. They're obviously talented as all hell on offense. That defense will continue to get better. The Jags are my pick. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think the Jags are exciting right now, and they definitely have that opportunity to take the next step. It's now going to be a decision on if they can actually do that, and they certainly had moments to do those sort of things in the playoffs. I mean, you talk about like that Christian Kirk drop. It was massive. I mean, you have to make those plays.
Trevor,
it was. And so it's going to be about if they can step up. They definitely have an easier chance of doing it with that division. So then it just becomes if they can meet up in the playoffs and do, get to that level that the other, 3 teams we've been talking about are at, which is Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Buffalo. And the reason I'm not worried about Buffalo is a similar reason why nobody ever seems to be worried about Kansas City, even when people want to bring it up. Tyreek Hill leaves. First of all, the coaching staff is good. Sean McDermott is great. Leslie Frazier has a good defense, and they've been able to move on from Brian Daboll and still create a solid offense.
But they did get worse offensively.
Josh Allen was still one of the best. I think he was second in QBR this year, and he still had one of the most passing yards and like some of the most touchdowns this entire season.
And the most turnovers in the NFL this season, which doesn't help.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Going back, they still have talented offensive weapons. They were able to move on from Brian Daboll and not really take a step back because they still won their division. They were still one of the top teams in the NFL. And honestly, if a horrific night against Cincinnati doesn't happen, there's a good chance that they're the ones that have home field advantage, and maybe they're not even playing Cincinnati. They're playing Jacksonville, and we're talking about a whole different situation. The other thing is you just trust that front office. They've built good teams. They've been able to acquire talent on both sides of the ball, and so you just trust that they're going to be able to retool and refit however they need to, just like Kansas City has done, just like Cincinnati has done.
I don't think we should be giving the Buffalo Bills the benefit of the doubt like we do with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have been to 5 straight consecutive AFC Championship games. They've won a Super Bowl in that span. The Buffalo Bills just haven't done that.
They've made it to the playoffs, and they've been winning their division.
Yeah, I mean, and winning their division, one of the worst divisions previously before the arrival of Mike McDaniel. It seems like
we've been giving Tom Brady all the credit in the world for winning one of the worst divisions. That never came up. If they're winning their division, they're winning their division.
Yeah, but that means nothing when your goal is to win the Super Bowl. That means nothing when your goal is clearly to win the Super Bowl. That's something the Buffalo Bills are talking about.
No, if you win your division, you have a better chance of going and getting a Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So they're in that upper echelon.
I mean, if their goal is to win the AFC East, then they've done a hell of a job the last few seasons.
You know what? Herm Edwards was the one that said, if you even want to start talking about being a contender in the Super Bowl, you got to win 2 times against your divisional rivals.
It's an important thing.
And they do that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not what their goal is. That's not what their goal is. Their goal
have
is to
to
win
reach
the Super Bowl.
that first.
They've been done that 3-4 years in a row now, and they haven't advanced past the AFC Championship game. So that's an issue. Again, it's not getting better. Josh Allen isn't getting any younger. Stephon Diggs isn't getting any younger.
He's still under 27.
Obviously, but again, when you're somebody who, like Josh Allen, who depends a lot on running the football and using your legs, particularly more than Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow do, age is going to be a factor sooner or later, especially, like I said, when you use and rely on your legs as heavily as Josh Allen does. And again, their best skilled player on offense outside of Josh Allen is aging in Stephon Diggs. And not only is he aging, he apparently ain't too cool with Josh Allen right now.
3 months ago, he was praising Josh Allen as a godsend. So, excuse me if I'm not worried about the opinion of a diva.
I guess.
Tyreek Hill had some comments about Tua against Patrick Mahomes. Nobody seemed
Not really.
Yeah,
I mean, we never seen Tyreek Hill blow up on Patrick Mahomes on the sideline like we did Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. And also, too, that wasn't the first time that Stephon Diggs is blowing up during the game at Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen...
it tends to suggest that it's more about Stephon Diggs because he's been doing it consistently.
I guess. I don't know if he's doing consistently after you just said he was just singing his praises. But nonetheless, let us know in the comments which of these divisional losers you're most excited about. Drop a comment and make sure you let us know which team you're on. Is it Team Scott with the Jacksonville Jaguars, or is it Team Matthew Morris with those Buffalo Bills? Let us know in the comments.
What is where Josh Allen has rent-free space?
Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out our other videos and don't forget to smack that subscribe button down below while you're at it. Also, for more great and original content, head right over to bvmsports.com.